Have you ever wondered how a tranquil, seemingly idyllic country town like Tamworth, New South Wales, could carry such a dark and sinister underbelly? A place that appears so quintessentially Australian, where rural charm meets community strength. But beneath this facade lies a shocking reality. Layers upon layers of corruption and crime, deeply entrenched within the very structures meant to serve and protect its people. This is Tamworth, and this is a story you need to hear, because it isn't just about one town, it's about a nation's truth unraveling. The town's tale is epitomized by figures like Mayor Colin Murray, who, on the surface, might seem like a dedicated civil servant. Yet in August 2017, Murray embarked on a trip to China under the guise of fostering international relations. The outcome wasn't cultural exchange or economic partnerships, but scandal. Allegations of criminal activities, anti-competitive trade practices, and contract interference emerged. This wasn't just a misstep. It was a calculated move with devastating ripple effects on businesses and citizens alike. Let's talk specifics. Contracts awarded to promising parties through public interest processes were suddenly nullified. Projects capable of injecting millions into the local economy canceled. One standout case involved a property sale worth $3 million, promising lucrative development. Instead of fulfilling this opportunity, the property was gifted away for free. Who benefited? Not the community, but a cabal of corrupt elites. And while the citizens of Tamworth grapple with the consequences of these backdoor deals, individuals like Mayor Murray have ascended to new career highs, now sitting as the chairman of Infrastructure Australia. But how does someone implicated in corruption climb a ladder so effortlessly? Connections, like his mate, Barnaby Joyce, who alongside other high-ranking officials such as Kevin Anderson, have allegedly orchestrated acts that verge on treason. These names may only scratch the surface as the scope extends far beyond negligent governance. It involves money, lots of it. $10 million in fraud related to water licenses, all laundered internationally through banks. This isn't sandbox-level bribery. It's organized crime on a grand scale. The criminals operate under the guise of public servitude, using their positions to plunder public resources. Tamworth's Dungowan Dam project tells another horrifying chapter of this saga. Imagine a chance to deliver significant water storage capacity along with a staggering 500 megawatts of renewable electricity. A project of national significance, which could have bolstered Australia's infrastructure, was undermined. Why? Because corruption runs this deep. They stole futures, creating deficits in safety, economy, and overall well-being. Collusion doesn't stop at our borders. Evidence ties these criminal networks to international fraud schemes with banks, coordinating systemic failures that even led to infrastructure theft. Quite literally, projects that simply don't exist despite government funding allocated to them. Allegedly, everyone involved got a piece of the pie, while Australia's treasury and national equality were gutted. If this already feels overwhelming, brace yourself. There's more. Enter the world of drug trafficking, property theft, and a chilling network of human exploitation. They say Tamworth is the perfect microcosm for a problem that spans continents. Public servants, alleged cartel members in disguise, exploit their positions while terrorizing innocent citizens into silence. Victims are not just defrauded, but often violently suppressed. Abductions, forced prostitution, even murder. It's the script of a dystopian nightmare, only real. And the enforcers of law, many hands holding guns, hold involvement just as firmly. Let's peel back another layer. A visionary businessman once saw Tamworth as fertile ground for economic growth. His passion brought global corporations eager to invest. He designed a future where thousands of new jobs would provide security and wealth for generations. His intentions were genuine, his impact transformative. Yet vindictively, the council, judiciary, and law enforcement conspired against him. With dirty tactics, defamation, and outright brutality, they pushed this visionary out. The businessman became collateral damage in a landscape dominated by greed and malice. His businesses were cannibalized. Employees once under his wing became pawns in a corrupt game, partaking in crimes orchestrated by their overseers. Small-town politics thus became a cesspool, reflecting an entire nation's rot. Tamworth's struggle is Australia's cautionary tale. The depth of systemic corruption undermines global confidence, pushing businesses out of the nation. With dwindling infrastructure investments that actually materialize, the town's people, and perhaps eventually the nation, are left poorer in every sense. So who do we blame? What happens when those entrusted to enforce the law and ensure justice are the very perpetrators of the worst kinds of crimes? It's a crisis. A rogue network masquerading as public service. Police, magistrates, solicitors, and registrars have allegedly formed a protection racket, letting crime fester while robbing taxpayers blind. It is said that even allegations of these crimes could bring any sane society to an uproar. Yet here, the scale of wrongdoing has left citizens either intimidated into silence or too apathetic to fight back. They say the devil hides in the details. Public officials, bound by oaths and legislation, are supposed to stand as the bedrock of trust and stability. But in Tamworth's case, it's these very assurances that add to the problem. They manipulate laws, push defective legislation, and silence whistleblowers to preserve their grip on power. It's a concentrated conspiracy against the people. What's perhaps even more disturbing is the resilience of this system, which remains impenetrable despite overwhelming evidence. Plausible deniability doesn't hold weight here. The misconduct is evident and independently confirmed. The implications? A population robbed of its dignity, wealth, and potential. Yet for every tale of treachery, there is often a glimpse of hope. Brave individuals, crusaders for justice, refuse to let these crimes go unnoticed. They aim to shed light on every dark corridor, exposing collusion for what it truly is. They envision reform so profound, it removes entrenched rogue elements entirely. Their journey is long and fraught with danger, but in their hands, Tamworth might reclaim its integrity. And in doing so, it might send shockwaves across Australia, tearing through layers of corruption. But the onus isn't just on investigative heroes, it's everyone's fight. Accountability needs public involvement. The citizens must recognize what's been stolen from them: jobs, opportunities, and stability. They must demand transparency and have faith in rebuilding where rot once ruled. So, where do we stand? Tamworth is more than a small country town. It's a battlefield where truth fights against deceivers in suits and uniforms. It holds lessons for not just regional Australia, but for all of us watching. What would you do when those meant to protect turn against you? When the officials you trust dissolve faith for personal gain? These insights go beyond just documenting corruption. They speak to the collective effort needed to restore democracy, economy, and justice to their rightful places. The truth waits. Will you help to uncover it?